Hello friends, in the last video we have discussed three very important definitions. One is direction angle. In short, we will revise all these three definitions. One is direction angle. Direction angle means angle made by the line with positive direction of x, y and z axis. Then direction cosines. If direction angles we are denoting by alpha, beta, gamma, then direction cosines are cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. And last definition is direction ratio. Any three number ABC proportional with direction cosines are called as direction ratios. Direction angles we are denoting by what? Alpha, beta, gamma. Direction cosines by cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma, or it is also denoted by LMN. And that direction ratios we are denoting by A, B, C. Now we are finding relation between direction ratios and direction cosines of a line. So I am supposing that here let A, B, C be the direction ratios of vector. We can say that vector or line. So ABC are the direction ratios of a line having direction cosines L, M, N. So already we have seen that direction ratios we are denoting by ABC and direction cosines we are denoting by LMN. Then according to definition of direction ratios, what is that definition? If ABC are the direction ratios, then definitely it will be proportional to what? Direction cosines. So therefore L upon A will be equals to M upon B is equal to N upon C. This result we are getting from definition of what? Direction ratios. When we can say that ABC are direction ratios, if these three numbers are proportional to direction cosines. Direction cosines here we have denoted by LMN. It can also be denoted by cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. Now these three ratios are equal. For simplicity, I am denoting this ratio say by lambda. Okay, let us denote this ratio say by lambda. It implies that what will the value of L then? L is equal to A lambda. In the same way, M is equals to what? B lambda. And N is equal to C lambda. Now, in the last video, we have seen that direction cosine satisfies which condition? Sum of their square will be equals to 1. So, we have one important condition that L square plus M square plus N square is equals to 1. Now, we are replacing this L by what? A alpha. So, L square will be equals to A square lambda square. In the same way, M is B lambda. So, M square will be equal to B square lambda square. And N is equal to C lambda. So, N square will be equals to C square lambda square. On this side, 1 keep it as it is. Now, if you observe these three terms very carefully, we are able to take lambda square common from these three terms. If we are taking lambda square common, so what we will get here? A square plus B square plus C square. On this side, 1 keep it as it is, which implies that lambda is equal to, or lambda square is equal to, this plus term, this term is multiplied to lambda square. On this side, it will get divided. So on this side, we will get 1 upon A square plus B square plus C square, which implies that lambda is equal to, just simply we are taking square root on both sides. On this side, what will get? Square root of this side, the square will get cancelled, so we will get lambda. And on this side, we will get plus or minus 1 upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. Just simply we have taken square root on both sides. So value of lambda is known to us. What is the value of lambda? Plus or minus 1 upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. Once this value of lambda is known to us, again if we are substituting the value of lambda in this expression, see what we will get. So this implies that L will be equals to. Now I am substituting the value of lambda here, and which is the number multiplied to lambda? A. So substitute this value of lambda here. What we will get? A into this lambda means plus or minus A upon under root A square plus B square plus C square. Getting it? Just I am substituting this value of lambda in this expression. So here numerator is 1. 1 into A will be equals to what? A. Keep that denominator as it is. Similarly, substitute this value of lambda in this expression. You will get M is equals to, what is M? Plus or minus B upon under root A square plus B square plus c square. And in the same way, if you are substituting value of lambda in this expression, you will get n is equals to plus or minus c upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. And these three important results are called as relation between direction cosines and direction ratios. Again, see here, what is ABC? ABC are the direction ratios. And what is LMN? Direction cosines. And using this relation, we are able to find out direction cosines of a line if direction ratios are given to us. Means if ABC are given to us, we are able to find out LMN. So what is, if ABC are given to us, then how to find out value of L? L is equal to plus or minus a upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. M is equal to plus or minus b upon under root a square plus b square plus c square, and n is equal to plus or minus c upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. What is this? L, M, N? L, M, N are nothing but direction cosines, and these values can be found out if A, B, C are known to us. And what is A, B, C? Are direction ratios of the line. So hope the idea about this relation between direction ratios and direction cosines are clear. If ABC are the direction ratios, then direction cosines are what? Plus or minus a upon under root a square plus b square plus c square, plus or minus b upon under root a square plus b square plus c square, and n is equal to plus or minus c upon under root a square plus b square plus c square. So well, after completing relation between direction ratios and direction cosines, now we will try to show that the direction ratios of a line or direction ratios of vector passing through 2 points, if coordinate of 2 points are given to us, means that coordinate of 2 points on a line or coordinate of 2 points on a vector are given to us, then direction ratios of that line or of that vector can be found out applying this formula. So what is direction ratio? It's x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. Using this method, we are able to find out what direction ratios of a line. When this formula is applicable, if coordinate of 2 points on that line or coordinate of 2 points on that vector are given to us. Is it clear? These are the direction ratios. But direction subtraction of two number is what? New number. So here also you will get one number, here also you will get number. These three number are what? Direction ratio. Direction ratios we are denoting by what? ABC. Means here applying this formula we are getting the value of ABC. And once ABC is known to us, direction cosines can be found out applying this formula. Isn't it? All the results are related with what? Direction ratios, direction cosines. Some result we are using in vector also, but maximum result we are using in what? Lines and planes. Getting it? So this all results are very important for next chapter, lines and plane. Well, let us try to prove it. So now here I am supposing that let a bar is equals to, I am denoting position vector of this point by a bar. If its coordinates are given to us, means position vector can be defined as x1 I cap plus y1 j cap plus z1 k cap. In the same way, what will be the value of b bar? From this coordinate, its position vector is x2 I cap plus y2 j cap plus z2 k cap. Once the value of position vector of these 2 points are known to us, we are able to define AB bar. AB bar is equal to B bar minus A bar. So value of B bar is also known, value of A bar is also known. Now simply we are taking subtraction. Subtraction of these two vectors. First collect the terms of I cap. X2 I cap minus X1 means X2 minus X1 I cap. Simply we are taking subtraction of these two expressions. First we have collected the term of what? I cap. Then collect the terms of J cap. We are taking what? Subtraction. We are subtracting A bar from B bar. Now this subtraction is y2 minus y2 j cap minus y1 j cap will be y2 minus y1 j cap. And lastly, collect the terms of k cap. What will their coefficient? Z2 minus z1. Z2 minus z1. Okay. Now this AB bar is nothing but what? One vector. Vector along which line? Along line AB. If line passes through 2 points, then we can say that that line, which are the 2 points here? AB. So we can say that it is line AB, and one vector along that line is what? AB bar. Once the value of AB bar is known to us, So we are supposing that line AB makes angle alpha, beta, gamma with x, y and z axis, and such angles are called as direction angles. So direction angle, let direction angles of line AB are alpha, beta and gamma. We are denoting these angles by alpha, beta and gamma. So therefore cos alpha, we are finding value of cos alpha. Already we will have a formula to find out value of cos alpha. Means angle between two vector. Here alpha is nothing but angle between what? Means angle made by alpha is angle made by line AB with which axis? X axis. And this angle we are denoted by alpha, and which is the unit vector along x axis? I cap. Means we can say that, so here let us suppose that this will be x axis and line AB makes what angle? Alpha, and one of the vector along this line is what? AB bar. AB bar is nothing but this AB bar is the vector along the line, and this line makes angle alpha with which axis? X axis, and unit vector along x axis is what? I cap. Means which is the angle, which is means here instead of saying that line makes angle alpha with x axis, we can say that AB bar makes angle alpha with I cap, isn't it? Means angle between these two vector is equal to I cap, and if that angle can be find out using one result which you have studied in dot product. What is that result? AB bar dot I cap upon magnitude of AB bar into magnitude of I cap, isn't it? This result we are getting after this result we have studied in dot product. Now we are taking dot product of these two vectors. AB bar, what value of AB bar is known to us. We are taking its dot product with what? I cap. This vector is represented in Cartesian form, and we know that if vector is represented in Cartesian form, at that time how to find out dot product. First take the product of coefficient of I cap. So observe that AB bar, here it is, its value is written here. Now, what is coefficient of I cap here? 1. 1 into x2 minus x1 is x2 minus x1. First, we have taken the product of coefficient of I cap. Then take the product of coefficient of j cap. But in the second vector, j cap is missing, means its coefficient is 0. And 0 into y2 minus y1 is 0. And term of k cap is also missing here, means its coefficient is 0. 0 into z2 minus z1 is also what? 0. Means what result we are getting? Dot product of these two vectors is equal to x2 minus x1. In the denominator, magnitude of I cap is a unit vector, so its magnitude is 1. And magnitude of AB bar simply can be denoted by AB. Means this result we are getting by using dot product. Similarly, we can say that cos beta will be equals to, or before that, let us simplify this expression. So this implies that we are trying to find out value of AB here. So AB will get multiplied on this side. So AB into cos alpha, and cos alpha will get divided on this side. Means what will the value of AB here? x2 minus x1 upon cos alpha. Now similarly we can prove that cos beta is equals to. Now instead of alpha, if we are taking beta, so beta is nothing but vector along what? Y axis, and unit vector along y axis we are denoting by what? J cap. Beta is angle made by this line with which axis? Y axis. Beta is angle made with y axis, and unit vector along y axis is j cap. So if I cap will get replaced by j cap, so what will get? Take the product of coefficient of j cap, y2, so that product will be y2 minus y1. Means here x2 minus x1 will get replaced by y2 minus y1, and the denominator will get AB. I hope you are getting it. Using exactly same method, we are finding the value of cos beta. So this implies that AB will be equals to, simplifying this expression, what will the value of AB here? y2 minus y1 upon cos beta. And similarly, we can say that cos gamma will be equals to, this implies that cos gamma is equals to. Now gamma is angle made by the line with z axis, and which is the unit vector along z axis, k cap. Means here I cap will get replaced by k cap. And if we are taking dot product of these two vector, means product of coefficient of k cap will be equals to what? Z2 minus Z1. In the denominator we will get AB using same method. So after simplifying it, we will get AB is equals to, AB will get multiplied, cos gamma will get divided on this side, Z2 minus Z1 upon cos gamma. Okay. Now if you'll observe these three expressions, first, second and third, check whether their left hand sides are equal. Since left hand sides are equal, that's why we can say that these right hand sides are also equal. So this implies that x2 minus x1 upon cos alpha will be equals to y2 minus y1 upon cos beta is equals to z2 minus z1 upon cos gamma, isn't it? Now, if you'll observe this expression very carefully, the values in the numerator, these values in the numerator are proportional to what? Cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma. What is cos alpha, cos beta, cos gamma? Direction cosines. And we know that any three number proportional to direction cosines are called as what? Direction ratios of the line according to definition of direction ratio. So therefore, direction ratios of line or vector are, what are the direction ratios? x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1 and z2 minus z1. Okay, so now we have proved now two important results. Using this, again we are getting few more important results, and the important results are nothing but what? Formulas for us to solve the example. So hope these relations are clear to you. What is ABC? ABC are the direction ratios. If direction ratios are given to us, then these direction cosines element can be find out applying this formula. And if coordinate of 2 point on the vector or coordinate of 2 point on the line are given to us, then applying this formula we are able to find out what? Direction ratios of that line. So well, just now we have seen the direct relation between direction ratios and direction cosines. Already this relation is written here. Means if direction ratios ABC are given to us, here we have seen how to find out direction cosines. Means this is the value of what? L. This is the value of what? L. This is the value of what? M here. This is value of M, and this is nothing but value of N. Okay, means if ABC are given to us, then LMN can be find out applying this formula. Means if direction ratios are given, so using this formula we are able to find out direction cosines. Now from this result, let us see, from this result we are trying to find out some again few important result which we are using while solving examples, isn't it? Now here observe these three numbers. These three numbers are nothing but what? Direction cosines. Element means what? Direction cosines. Suppose that we are, after substituting the value, we are getting three numbers here. Now if we are taking ratios of these three numbers, means ratios of this first, second and third number, these three numbers are what? Direction cosines. Means if we are taking ratios of direction cosines, whenever we are finding ratio, we are cancelling common factor, isn't it? Now observe these three numbers, first, second and third. This is L, this is M, this is N. Means these three numbers are direction cosines. If we are taking the ratios, we are cancelling common factor. So observe which is the common factor in these three numbers. Plus or minus 1 upon under root, plus or minus 1 upon under root, plus or minus 1 upon under root. Under root means under root a square plus b square plus c square. We can observe this is the common number, common factor in these three numbers. After cancelling this common factor, 1 upon under root, 1 upon under root, 1 upon under root, which are the remaining three terms? Remaining three terms are nothing but what? A, B, C. Means what result we are getting here? If we are taking ratios, ratios of what? Direction cosines. What we are getting? ABC. ABC are nothing but what? Direction ratios. That's why direction cosines are also called as what? Direction ratios. But converse is not true. Getting it? If we are taking ratios of these three numbers, means ratios of direction cosines, then after cancelling common factor we will get ABC. What is ABC? Direction ratios. That's why we can say that direction cosines of a line are also the direction ratios of the line. Direction cosines of line are also direction ratios of line, but converse is not true. But converse is not true. Let us see the second important result. Just now we have shown that if line passes through 2 point or vector passes through 2 point, then how to find out its direction ratio. And here one line is given to us which passes through which 2 point? AB. And when just now we have proved it, in that case we have seen what is the value of AB bar. AB bar means what? B bar minus A bar. So what is that value? X2 minus X1 I cap plus Y2 minus Y1 J cap plus Z2 minus Z1 K cap. Such type of expression we have got when we have proved this result. So where in that case we have considered position vector of point A and point B. By taking their subtraction we will get this result, isn't it? Now if you'll observe this result very carefully, here this AB bar is nothing but one vector along this line. So if vector along the line is given to us, at that time coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap in this vector are nothing but, are these three numbers, coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap, are nothing but what? Direction ratios of that line. We have proved it. Means if one vector along the line is given to us, if one vector along the line is known to us, then coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap are nothing but what? Direction ratios of the line. That's why here we can say that direction ratios of line passing through origin O and P having coordinate x, y, z, r. Now just now we have proved one formula. If 2 point on the line is given to us, then direction ratios are x2 minus x1, y2 minus y1, z2 minus z1. This origin, what are the coordinate of origin? 0, 0, 0. So what result we will get? X minus 0 is x, y minus 0 is y, and z minus 0 is z. So here we will get x, y, z are nothing but what? Direction ratios of the line. Means if line passes through origin, at that time coordinate of any point on that line are nothing but what? Direction ratios. And third very important result, if A bar is equal to A1 I cap plus B1 J cap plus C1 K cap is vector along line, then its direction ratios are, okay. Now here what we have seen, if AB bar is the vector along the line, then coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap are nothing but what? Direction ratios. These are coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap. What is coefficient of I cap? X2 minus X1, J cap is Y2 minus Y1, and Z2 minus Z1 is coefficient of K cap. And these three values are nothing but what? Direction ratios. Here also one vector along the line is given to us. That's why here also we can say that this coefficient of I cap, J cap, K cap are nothing but what? Direction ratios of that line. Already we have proved it in this result. So here we can say that direction ratios are A1, B1, C1. Means if vector along the line is given to us, we are able to find out its direction ratios. Or in other word, we can say that if direction ratios are given, we are able to find out vector along the line. So now observe this result also. Note down this result here. This is fourth important result. So if A, B, C are direction ratios of line, then vector along line is AI cap plus BJ cap plus CK cap. Just now we have seen that if vector is given, we are able to find out direction ratios. And in the other word, we can say that if direction ratios of the line is given to us, we are able to define vector along that line also. Now let us see the very important result. Fifth, if direction ratios are given, we are able to define what? Vector along the line. Now if direction cosines are given to us, if L, M, N are direction cosines of line, then let us see what important result we are getting here. Now this is the vector along these are the direction ratios. If direction ratios are given to us, we will get vector along the line. What is that vector along the line? It's ai cap plus bj cap plus ck cap. Okay, so I am denoting this vector say by p bar. Let us denote this vector by p bar. If I am dividing both sides by magnitude of p bar, so what is magnitude of p bar? Magnitude, we are dividing to this p bar by its magnitude. So on this side also we are dividing by magnitude, means simply we are dividing both sides by magnitude. Let us see what we'll get here. Okay. So now as is stand, this vector, this is the vector along the line. If vector along the line is given to us, then ABC are what? Direction ratio. Or if ABC are the direction ratio, then this is the vector along the line. So we have simply denoted this vector by what? P bar. Now I am dividing to this vector by its magnitude. So on this side also divide by magnitude. So already this vector is represented in Cartesian form. Then its magnitude will be equals to what? Under root a square plus b square plus c square. Means this is the value of what? Magnitude of p bar. So here also you will get under root a square plus b square plus c square. Under root a square plus b square plus c square. So which is equal to, but already we have proved that a upon under root, b upon under root, c upon under root are nothing but what? LMN. So means this is the value of L, this is the value of M, and this is the value of what? N, K cap. This is L, this is M, this is what? N. Already we have proved this result. Now observe the left hand side. If we are dividing to a vector by its magnitude, we will get a unit vector. That is the formula of unit vector. Any vector divided by its magnitude is unit vector. Here I am denoting that unit vector by E cap. Means this is the unit vector along that line. Means what result we are getting? If LMN are what? Direction cosines of the line, then unit vector along that line, then unit vector along line is what? I am denoting that unit vector here also by E cap. So its value is Li cap plus Mj cap plus Nk cap. So in this way we have seen all the very important result related with what? Direction ratio and direction cosine. So again observe here, if unit vector of if direction cosines are given to us, we will get the value of what? Unit vector. And if direction ratios are given to us, at that time we cannot say that it is a unit vector. Its magnitude may be 2, 3 or any number. But if direction cosines are given to us, at that time we can say that it is what? Unit vector along that line. And already in one result we have proved that these coefficients means these coefficients means what? Direction cosines. Direction cosines are also called as what? Direction ratios. Either it is unit vector or it is not a unit vector. Then coefficient of I cap, j cap, k cap are called as what? Direction ratios of the line. So all these are the very important results related with what? Direction angle, direction ratios and direction cosines. So go through all these important results. In the next video, first we'll discuss about the result and definitions of cross product, and then we will solve our remaining exercise.